But I did promise to tell you about Mr. Bog. Well, actually, that's what I call this pipe, Mr. Bog. Years ago, and I'm talking about, God, 50 years ago. So that's how old this pipe is. We used to go to Ireland every once in a while with my dad. And we would go to Mr. Bog's house. And that's what we called him, is Mr. Bog. I don't know what his real name was. I don't think we ever knew, because we always just called him Mr. Bog, or Mr. Bog. He lived in Knock Me Down Mountains. So we would go to Knock Me Down Mountains to the bog. And it had to do with bogwood, bog briar. You gotta remember, my dad bought and sold briar, so it was always interesting to travel with him because of that. But these pipes were from, like I say, these are some that we got, and it's a 50-year-old pipe. And it looks like it if you look at it really close. And I can't say that it smokes very well. It does smoke okay. It kind of, over the years, has kind of worn down. I don't know if you can tell, but that's because of being held like this for so many years. You kind of will get a groove in some of your pipes and stuff. And I'm sure that after 50 years of this. But usually around St. Patrick's Day, we would wear our kilts and our Irish clothes here in town to go to the parades, because it was my birthday. And we always smoked our Mr. Bog pipes. And I don't want you to get that confused with Brog, because it wasn't Brog, it was Bog. He lived, Mr. Bog, and his family and his kids, who, you gotta realize, we grew up with other kids all over the world. They would go to their house, and they had a low stone house. It was just, when we went, we would actually be sleeping on dirt, but in sleeping bags and stuff, so it wasn't like we were sleeping on dirt. But I realized we were, you know, young, between 5 and 10 years old when we went there, and we had such a good time. But it was like, I was like 10 or 11 years old before someone told me they were speaking English, because I swear I never understood a single word they said. But you know, you didn't have to communicate as kids with words as much as you did with what you were doing, so that was good. It was kind of a fun time to go. And like I say, I was like 11 or 12 before somebody told me they were speaking English. I couldn't understand their accent. Well, that was, you know, we traveled a lot, and so in all the countries we went, there was, oh, by the way, that's one of those knots pipes that's, it's made out of a quarter, and it has my birth year on it, and Liberty on it. It's made by Knott's Pipe, K-N-O-T, I don't know if it's 2 T's or 1 T pipe, and he makes these out of quarters. You just give him the year of you want the quarter for, and he bends that quarter into a nice little ring, and it even has the ridges that is on the quarter on the edges of the ring, which is kind of neat. And they take that money and they build wells, and I want to say he's building them in Honduras, but truthfully I haven't looked at him lately, so I'm not sure. But it's a really neat deal. So if you get a chance to buy a ring from him and help build a well, what a good idea. Oh, I'm off subject again. I gotta focus, don't I? Well, this is one of the first dampers that I got, and this was from Nathan Campbell, and it's purple, although you can't see it. It has a little scoop, and it's got this little narrow edge there to hold it nice. I got this when I first started into YouTube. I got 2 little yabos. Well, not little, because I got one from Danny Shore, and you know, his yabos were never little. But Nathan sent me one of these, and I just absolutely love that. And I haven't lost it yet, so that means I really must like that. So what is this video about? Oh, I was still talking about Mr. Bog. Well, that's what it is. This is a pipe that was that we got when we were kids. Well, not all of us, because nobody else had the interest in the pipes as much as I did. So this is like this was Mr. Bog, and around my birthday, usually, and especially when we were wearing our Irish clothes, we would carry our Irish pipes. But speaking of Irish pipes, I've, along with smoking this one this morning, which has Commodore in it, which